So dealing with the mountain escape this week in the gi and no gi escapes with soft chop. The mountain escapes is kind of there's two major positions that score 4 points, which is your back and your mat. They tend to be the positions that you can do the most damage from with the street fight, and that's how they catch you. So if you're mounting someone out on the street, could do more damage than you could possibly from inside the car. So it's a basis of how the point system works. It also means that as far as the BJJ guard goes, you're in a position that's arguably one of the most furthest points away from the guard without them being able to move and recover. So like north south, they can still swing their legs kind of thing. Once you're on the mount, on the top of it, it's hard for them to put their legs back into you. So the mount position scores the highest amount of points besides back control or back mount. It's on the positions that I hunt. I love working mounts on people. I like my mounts. I've got a heavy mount. And there's a couple of things I do when I get to mount that I do to control. So we're going to have a look at how what people are doing and how to stop it. The second thing about it is that it's kind of, I guess, the generation that happens now is that it takes me like 4 to 6 moves to get to the mount position. And everyone's after what's that one move I can do to get out of mount. The downfall of that is it's often not one move. You've got to kind of do your 4 or 5 moves to set them up to move out of mount. So those are the kind of guys like you like push and roll and roll out of mount. It doesn't work like that. Like on a high level guy, you shut down, you go to bridge roll out and take it back. So we want to make sure that when we're doing the mount escape, that everything's nice and clean, and that we're not exposing our back, we're not doing an opportunity to get there. And also understand that it's not just one move to get out. Okay, Chris on Mount, and we're going to start with this. This is the bum right mount escape. So Chris on Mount, and he's done a really good job on getting out and his feet across nice and high underneath my side. So this is one of the work that us to get out. The main reason is that the more that I bridge, the more we come up deeper, and the harder we should move, because I try to get to my position, the harder we move the legs to the hard guard, because it's really hard. I just got a nice heavy mount on me, and I've got my weight. So this one works really good. So if I try and turn from here, his hands to the end of the car, got me to turn over the hook again. I'm really trying to watch other people here that try to do the kick escape and they get hurt. So what I do is I want to make him squeeze his legs even deeper. So I want to put concentrate on my motion first point. I know he doesn't want to create space for me, so I want to keep everything tight. So I want him to as well, believe it or not. So I start to move my legs one way. He'll generally go, I'll squeeze. I create space on the other side and he goes, I'll squeeze. So he's getting his legs super tight with. This is the hardest part about the entire move. This is, I now slowly lift my hips and I put my weight onto his knee. So this is going to create space to be able to move out. So the concept behind this is that every time I'll raise my hips to bridge, he goes deeper underneath it, is underneath my hips. So this is worse and worse. Does everyone understand that? He doesn't have to cross his feet, he can just have to nice and deep. So what I want to do is, for me, I'm going to create space. So he goes, I'll squeeze. So he's getting this good squeeze position. What I'm doing now is if I can, bring him over and I simply start my roll. So he's got to put pressure onto his knee and his foot. More importantly, I can now put all my weight here. He's going to have to move him closer. So I'm going to get my hip escape to start to come out. Notice the flow pads are on. Right? Yeah, that's it. I did it, it's weird because I did this last with the same person on that pads as well. Rocco, chop off. Sorry, mate. Yeah. You didn't even surf this morning, did you? No. Okay. So once again, is the person that's on mat, you've got one called like your feet, and you don't have to cross that heavy underneath my arm, and you're trying to do that. So you look up, you're trying to get my hips up off the ground. It's harder for me to bridge and come on and get deeper and deeper. Your job is obviously get underneath my armpits so that I can have my hand and can attack. Or not, your job is not obviously, but your job is. Okay. So once I'm here and he's got the head, you have my frame. So I start to move one way. And then when he squeezes his feet, he's getting tight. So I'm just kind of sliding to there. When I'm ready, start to put it. Start to put my escape from here. So this one's going to go and take force field of motion to be able to start to get the space to be able to escape from here. Okay, in, plus one. You're mounting me, buddy. You can get 30 seconds. 15 more seconds. So So Ian's got mount, and what he's got this really heavy mount where his feet are squeezed to get underneath my bum. 5, 4, 3. So as I start to move to my left, we'll drive this leg deeper. As I move to my right, we'll drive again. So I'm just going to come up. I've got room. I can wipe my bum on the ground. From here, think like that. My knee will roll out, and I'll get closer. So watch what he does. He's now coming together. Hand focus on my weights on top of the cup. Hands on, hip skate from here. Bring your knee to your elbow. So if he does try to upgrade back onto the mount position. So I don't want this space here where he can put his knee back through. I want to make sure that my space is covered. So knee to elbow, high ball, head. Let's start that, guys. 1, 2, 3. Go. One of the worst mounts you're going to have to deal with is once they've got that really good pressure mount. I've got what they've got the other guys that are trying with those to the mount like the UFC. Kabir mount, right, where you get to try and goes mount. It's exactly the same principle that we've got to slide it to create space. So that would be one of the worst mounts that we're going to have to deal with as far as in the BJJ and deal with the front mounts so that they're front on, right? I want to explain a couple of things now. This is, it's going to go against the grain of what I'm saying, right? So it's going to contradict what I'm saying, but I want to explain it a little bit later on while we're doing it. Okay, so just a solid this to me, right, is if I want to escape to get off my back, at some stage my shoulders have to lift off the ground. So whether I'm going to put them into my guard, whether I'm going to put them into my half guard, whether they're going to roll over, at some stage my shoulders have to lift. Like if I'm flat here and their knees are here, there's no way I can move to put their feet through. So at some stage I've got to create space down the footing or whatever. The downfall that for me is that every time that my shoulders go past the 90 degree point and there's pressure, it's exceedingly hard for me to go back and it's easy for them to take my back. So one of the things that I like to work on is if I'm going to my side, if I'm doing my bridging, if I'm doing my pushing, if I'm doing my pushing, is I keep my elbow on the outside. So this way, if the flame comes on the backside and I try and push me over, I have the flame system to stop me from collapsing. So my bottom elbow will always be out. If I can't get my elbow, my leg will come out. It'll do exactly the same thing. So if I'm going to go, if I'm taking my shoulders off the ground to the ceiling, I need to have something to stop me from going all the way over. Yes? Oh, no question? Okay, so yeah. So I don't have my arm where they can do the exact same, where they can push my arm down for Kimura, so it's more that it's a frame here. So what we're going to have a look at now is we're going to expose our shoulders, but I'm not going to give them the ability to take my back. Right, so I need to have my frame. So this is the structure. It's exactly the same as what we did before, my knees to elbow, but we're putting on this side here, so I have a frame system. Okay, Ian's got mounts in. Jump up, mate. This is a good day for you, man. You've got a lot of mounts in 3 times so far. Yeah, it's not going to happen again. Unless you do tomorrow's class. I'm out. Okay. So, if I push my hands high, I've exposed my armpits and my elbows for arm bars. If I push, so anytime I'm pushing here, this is just arm bar, territory. So I always want to make sure that my frame system is on the belt, right, or below the belt. So number one is I'm going to grab my hand center line like I'm giving him CPR or whatever like that. I'm going to use what we call old school rock and roll. So I'm going to bridge, I'm going to push my partner back 45 degrees to my right side, my right knee and my head's going to turn to the right side. I bridge, I push 45 degrees this way. As a general rule, he's going to go no way, hose B, he'll drive back in. I pump it and I dump it. So I'm using this momentum because it's quite hard for me to keep the weight from one side to the other side. As a general rule, what will happen is, as I'm pushing him to the right hand side, his right hand will generally go towards my head to stop him from pushing. So if I'm here and I go, bridge, push, 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 his right hand will generally hold on to me, so right, does that make sense? So this means that he doesn't have a post on that side right now.
So I'm counting on him kind of going, and using his hand, I'll pull myself in, I'll pull myself in, I'll pull myself in. So now his hand's close, so now I've got this ability to start to use it as a dump. And the question is, what happens if he doesn't post on that hand? I just rescue my guard on that side. So if he doesn't react to my first rock and roll, I just rescue the half guard or the guard. So let me explain the three things that I need you guys to concentrate on. Here's number one, which is, jump back on now. If at any stage I push and I don't push my partner down, and so as I push, he'll slide up underneath my armpit and we'll get in there Gordon Ryan and things where we're here, and he'll start to put pressure on the shoulder, and I'll go, I don't want to go over, 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 and we get to here. Or so it's like, I'm not defending back control anymore, I'm defending the choke. So what happens? Where's our frame bomb? Does that make sense? So what I want to make sure is that to stop him from coming underneath my armpits, and don't worry about it, it's this new clock we've got, it lets me know every hour I'm closer to death. So, it's horrible, goes up like 24 times a day. Okay, so, okay, 45, 45, 45, boom. And I want that. So if he doesn't react, I just put my leg through and we're into half guard. He does react. So I was like, no, so I'm in, and now watch carefully, and I'll reset 45 degrees down on the outside. Make sure you guys do not come up inside the guard. For me, back step. Always try to come over the knee. One of the worst positions to be to guys is full guard, so we're trying to always avoid full guard, but not to the jerk too much that I'm not coming on top. Okay, now, not go big. Thank you. You did really good, buddy. So once again, if you don't understand any of this, right, it's okay. No one understands any of what I'm talking about. Everyone just nods and agrees. Then they go back to your partner and go, what the hell was that? And everyone goes, I don't know, let's just try copy. So for me, it's just this. If I try and push here, it's like bench pressing a heavy weight close to your chest. It's hard to do. So I bridge. And that's definitely going to give me the ability to push 45 degrees down so she can't upgrade to an arm bar. Should she only go, yeah, that's it. So she goes, I want that, boom, in, rock and roll. So she might not fall over, but I'm going to get enough momentum and space to be able to start to hip escape the sidewinder that we did to rescue my guard. Change partners, 1, 2, 3. The next couple of mount steps at a time when your partner is attacking you, often that they're going to go for the three majors from the mount position are Kimura or armbar. When you get a bit more advanced, there's the armbar, there's the triangle, there's the back take. So we're just going to have a look at the fundamentals right now. Dealing with them. When I first got shown this, it was vastly different to the way that they are now. Just the fundamentals have changed so much in the understanding of the body weight and position. So it's got a bridge along, and it's still one of your fundamentals. And what you have to do, the main reason being is that it's still one of the best ways to offset your partner. Even if you don't roll them out of the mount, you're going to stop them from attacking you because they don't have to close. So they're going for like a collar choke and armbar and bricks, they're going to have to let go and they're going to have to close. So it will give you that opportunity to like, survive. Number one rule of jiu-jitsu is don't get caught, so don't get submitted. So we want to have a look at how to survive. Now, I'm going to go to the face. Okay, so from here, now I've got mounting. This is the first one, and it's quarter bridge roll. So I'm defending, and what happens is, as a general rule, if my hands go below her armpit, she's going to go collar choke. Why? Because my hands are down here. If I'm trying to push away, it's generally slide up underneath and armbar from here. If I'm just doing defensive jiu-jitsu, it's normally Kimura. because my hands are straight in front. She just pushes her arm across and Kimura. So what happens is the first one I've done, my hands go into Mel's hips, and I'm like, I'm just going to bench press Mel off. She goes, no dramas. As I push, her hand goes in. I make 2 motions. Number 1, think about it this way. I always cut the elbow down. So this will rotate the shoulder over my head. If I pull the elbow out, I'm giving her a post and I'm pulling her across my throat. Okay. So I always, if her left hand goes in my collar, my left hand cups and holds in deep. The way I got taught to do this, right, is I'm now going to bridge. I'm going to take my partner over my shoulder and I'm going to roll over. Yep. What I do instead, watch carefully, is my right hand goes down and grabs her gi pads. Do not put your fingers in, Emma. My right hand. So if I'm holding your arm with my left hand, my right hand will go down towards the gi pads. I'm simply going to do this. I'm going to start to shove her, use my hand to shove a foot between my legs. She's going to defend it. And now, I'll roll, but I'm not going to end up inside her guard. Because I've put her leg down, I'm rolling over her leg. This is a really cool way to the bridge roll. It's really different to the way that we normally got taught it. Because her reaction is she's going to be defending the half guard, not the bridge and roll. Yeah. So I'm here, the hand goes in, I'm like, no drums, and I'm here. So she'll generally kind of, you kind of fingers in, so I've rolled the gi on the outside, that's cool. Yeah, I kind of fingers in. Once I roll it on that side, I'm okay. Okay. All right, not the classic stuff, okay. So for me, it's in both ways. I'm going to go push, and I'm going to turn. So what's happening is, I'm already turned to go on bridge and roll, but I'm taking her post down. So most people are going to go, I don't want that there. So they're going to try and recover this, which makes this really easy to make a roller. And secondly, get really cool upgrades. Like really cool upgrades on this as well. Okay. Ian? Yeah. So Ian has mount on me. Okay, so from here, what Ian's going to do is, if my hands are below his armpits, he'll go for his collar choke. Yep, perfect. So if I do it, and this is the thing, this is a contradiction, right? I don't want my back to get exposed, so I always want to have a frame on this side. This is a contradiction. What I'm doing though is I'm doing the opposite. I am going to expose my back. The downfall, the reason why I'm doing is he can't take my back because I'm holding him on this side. So this is that contradiction I spoke about earlier on. So what's on me is this, I shove the leg down, I try and catch a half guard. So he's going to defend the half guard. Boom. Step, upgrade. So for the personal mount, it's a completely opposite to what they think is going to happen. It's a really cool way to deal with the bridge and roll. Who would like to step one more time? Yeah, sure. So jump on. Okay, so the person on the bottom, your hands go in to do the first big shove away, the rock and roll. He goes, hands are down low, I'll collar choke. Keep your hand here, push, come over, turn the elbow in. So he can't get the elbow out. At the same time, I'll grab it. Do not put your fingers here. You can grab on the outside if you want to from here. Makes a difference. If you're having trouble because they're really tight, the gi pants, what I generally do for me is I'm just going to take a chunk of their skin. Not my fault. Yeah, just chunk it. Here. Straighten my right leg. Push it down. Bob. Kick the right leg. Come on. You're only going to get 4 points, but you're on mount. I think it's a really cool way to go mount to mount. 1, 2, 3. A lot of time that when we're dealing with this is we've got to mount, or they've got the mount position, and we've done like 4 or 5 moves to get mount, and I'm talking about 1 move. I just do it 1 move to get out of mount. It's not like that. So if my hands are attacking this, I just really going to attack here. So watch carefully. It's not like I'll fold the arm over. I'm going to keep my hand under the hip. I'm going to do one of the other options up here. I'll do my bum slide. So I'm here. So I start to go bum slide. So he starts to squeeze his legs in deeper. Now, boom. So once I'm here, because he's done the bump slide, I can now come up. He'll generally go straight for the cross collar, make sure I'm turning him over to the back side as well. So the add-on to this one is my hand, and I'm going to bait him. I go hands low, here, got it. The downfall is if I go here and he puts his shin over my arm, man. So what I'm doing is I go here and I'm holding here. I don't grab the leg yet. I start to go whip, whip, and he goes, I don't want to get rolled, I'll squeeze my knees tighter. Thank you. Now, I've got the ability to start to play a game. As it goes cross collar, don't go him out. Turn the legs away and expose the arm. So, kick him in the hips. So now I've got access to his arms and things like that as well. So the add-on for this mount escape is here, I push, here, outside, hold the hip. To stop him from upgrading, I make him hold the mount. So I start side. So he's going to go, I don't want to upgrade. See this? So now, hold it. Bridge, push the leg. Make sure you lift the leg, you can replace it with this if you want to. Upgrade, so you still got all your arm bars, you still got all your attacks from here as well. So I want that butt slide before you grab the leg, because otherwise if he puts your shit over, you set the arm bars and try and this way. Yeah, so jump up like this. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so as a general rule, like I mentioned, if my hands are low, here, they'll take the neck. If I'm pushing, it's armbar. If I'm defending nothing, it's Kimura. As my defense versus their attack. So from here, I'm here. To stop them from trying to pull out, I just start to move. Because if they sit up too high, we're still going to get the option where we can combo our attacks together. But what I want to do, right, is once they go here, I'm here and I'm here. So I'm pushing the hip down. Don't push it that way. They want to go that way for the armbar. So I'm pushing this down so she goes for the armbar. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I start to wriggle. So she goes, I'm going to get rolled. So here, grab it. Okay. Roll, lift the leg. Once I'm on the leg, start your attacks. Remember, I don't say I've kept her arm, so it's really hard for her to disengage this. So even if she goes, I'll flick the leg over, I'll try and get back up. I've got this ability to keep the post arm that she needs to get up. 1, 2, 3. Does that make sense? So you're pushing the hips down to stop from upgrading. Let's go. The hardest part about getting down is when you first go back and you go to the head part, control that position. That's your opportunity to stay. They haven't got the point that they haven't settled yet. So for me, once I get that mount position and I make them, they go, oh, mount, I'm like, wicked. I've already broken you mentally. Now I'm just going to physically say, I'm going to try and make that comfortable. So people that kind of go, we're not supposed like the frames, you're in the hip escape, in the hands, are like, man, I want that control. So for me, is the rock and roll escape is the first one you should be doing. So if I'm with analysis space, reverse, I should say my now. So she's got her back towards my hands, on front control. Got your back towards my hands, here. So I'm like here, and I'm like, man, so she goes to mount. This is that part I was talking about. Whatever you guys do, don't roll through because does that make sense? So I'm trying not to expose my back. Does everyone understand that? The second part is if I've got my here, and she's going to upgrade to mount. Which really is what? Boom. Try and catch it. Just try and catch the half shot. Next one, now this sounds really weird, but so as she goes to mount, I turn the face up and I start to push. So she'll generally kind of go, I'll drive back into you, and I've got this whole rock and roll thing that I can start to rock and roll. So she's upgrading from this side. Don't fight her here as she upgrades. Use that momentum and so this is that rock and roll. So instead of me kind of going, bridge, I'm already here. She's already flying that way. Frames come in and push. So usually momentum against her. She comes in, my hands go low, she goes for the collar choke, push the hips, shove it down, start to escape. So you've got to get these together. So what we're going to do now is this. You're going to grab your partner. One person's going to be on side control. They're going to slowly upgrade the mount and down under. Your top, ride the mount, slowly, you go big bits mount, you do the choke, you do the okay. Okay, water mouth guards, 1, 2, 3. And you guys have to go see me before you go.